Hello, it's me, Louisa. I'm here again. I just wanted to say that, although I feel what I have to say is valid and important, I just don't want to inundate my page with constant videos of just what seems to be like attention getters, Like, I want to produce content that is valuable to me, that has a meaning that I feel passionate about. Yeah, sure, I have an opinion about everything. You know what they say about opinions. Anyway, I'm outside my home. It's kind of beautiful. It's 23 degrees. Bus going by. So what I want to talk about today is, first of all, I wanted to just mention something that I realized in the last couple of videos. I realized the true power to empower women or anyone, any person that's connecting, is that you don't have to always be at your best. My eyeliner doesn't have to be perfect. My hair doesn't have to be perfect. If I have something in my heart that I want to share, I want to share it straight. I don't want to have this big production where, I need my hair and makeup done, because that's kind of crappy. If I'm here to be real, I'm here to show you who I am, and this is it. So I have a bunch of topics that are swirling around in my mind that have been hitting me left and right throughout the last couple of months. And it is so interesting to me because I was explaining to someone the other night, like, I don't script these. There's nothing I have written down. I kind of I've said this earlier in a few videos, that I kind of get a couple of subjects, they rattle around, and the one that becomes predominant is the one that I speak of. But today, I have a couple of topics. I have a couple of topics all about self-care and self-love. One of my topics is going to be about addiction. One of my topics is going to be about self-love. One of my topics is going to be what it truly means to empower others, and what your commitment to yourself is when you put yourself out there to help another person get on with the struggles that they're in the moment. And let's face it, struggles can last forever and ever and ever, or struggles can be a growing point, or struggles can just be bumps in the roads that you have to get through. Like I said today in a text to a good friend, I think God hands the toughest battles to his strongest warriors. And I think that's empowering. I think if you're sitting there and you're in your ways and you're upset and why me and why this, he believes in you. God believes in you. He wants you to believe in yourself. And every single time you come through one of those hurdles, you're on the other side, and you have to realize that you got yourself there. You brought yourself through there. You made a decision and you stepped up and you did it. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of everybody. I don't struggle with addiction because it just wasn't something that chose me. What I do struggle with is depression. And although I don't have a physical addiction to a product, I have an illness within my mind. So I have the opportunity every single day to wake up and make a decision on how I want to proceed with the day. Do I want to be happy? Do I want to be sad? Do I want to be lazy? Yes, depression is something you cannot control. But you could take a second and work on your inner self and say, you know what? I have this situation going on. I'm saddened by it. But I need to do X, Y, and Z to move forward. For me, I have a day or two a week where I'm just kind of bedridden. Not bedridden, but I just kind of make the decision. I'm not going to really do much of anything. I'm going to just kind of work on my thoughts, because thinking through everything is the way I get through day to day. I use a thing called my process. And that takes a lot. It takes a lot to get to a process. So, because you really have to be the most vulnerable and the most honest with yourself. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was addiction. Based on the fact that this is a prevalent subject in my life right now. I'm dealing with a couple of women, men that have starting to overcome and have successfully overcome addiction. And I'm looking at it from a viewpoint of trying to understand, and I think the biggest thing for me that I've taken away so far is acknowledging it, is saying I have this going on with me, and knowing that it's going to be the biggest battle and fight of your life, but at the end of it, you are the warrior standing there. And I think I've learned in the last couple of weeks that I always say I'm here for anybody. If you need to talk, please. If you want me to tell you you're beautiful, I'll do it. If you need a pep talk, I got you. But what I'm learning about those words, or any words that you speak to someone else, is if you look into someone's eyes who's hurting and you tell them you're going to be there for them, whether it's just a verbal communication, a text message, a hug, I don't know what it is, but you have to make sure before you commit to that action that you have the ability to do it. Because the last thing a person with addiction needs to deal with is disappointment from people that are telling them they want to be there for them. Do you know what I mean? So for me, when I say to someone, I want to be here for you, I mean it. And if that means a 4:00 in the morning phone call, or 3:00 in the morning drive to wherever they are, that's what you have to do. You have to commit to your commitments, because it's important, because you're showing someone that there is still such thing as humanity, and that we care, and that you care, especially about someone you care about. I was just at a meeting Friday night, and I've been to a couple of AA meetings or NA meetings and stuff like that as support for loved ones, friends, whomever. But there was a woman there who spoke about her dealing with a death, and the first time she's actually ever dealt with a death in a sober state of mind, and how real every feeling is. And I was in a town I've really never been in. I looked over at her, and I knew that I wanted to connect with her spiritually, mentally, and in the best way I could say it, with all the strength I can give to this woman who's a complete stranger. But you can see in her eyes that hurt was taking over, and death is no joke. We've all experienced it to some degree or another, and we all deal with it in our own pace, on our own pace, in our own time. I have a story. I have a story. So my story, this is about me, and I think about my growth, because when my grandmother passed away, I was 30 years old, and I called work, and I was like, I can't come in. And they said, of course, you have 3 days. And I was like, no, not 3 days. I need 3 weeks. I can't function. She was like my dad. She was my mom. She was a part of the village that raised me. Her and my mother were my team. And, and they were understanding, and they gave me what I asked for, and I took it, and I used it to the best of my ability at 30. And I thought, this is just going to be it. This is how I'm going to deal with the most important people in my life's deaths from this day forward. Spring ahead to my mom passing away 3 years ago. So what is that? I was 49. And outside of time that we needed as a family, my sisters and I, to gather the information and the stuff that we had to do to, do her celebration of life, and the process of, all the paperwork and all the rigmarole and stuff you have to go through when someone dies. We did all that. And then I went back to work 3 days later, or a day after, because we did her celebration of life, let's say on a Friday, and that Monday. So the week or so that we were, getting everything in order, putting our ducks in a row, we were inundated with all the things that we had to do. And then I went right back to work. And I remember thinking, you are going right back to work? Not guilty, but in shock. Your grandmother, who you loved, but nowhere near the magnitude of your mom, you're going back to work? Well, that showed me my growth. That showed me the warrior I was. That showed me and anyone listening, that you know what? Time heals. Time heals a lot of wounds. Time changes what you expect from yourself and what you're willing to do. At 49 years old, I knew the best place for me to be was work, because I needed to escape from my sadness. And I've spoken about this in another video. Like, I went home, I smiled every day. It was the fakest smile of my life. It took me about 1.5 to 2 solid years of the fake smile before I didn't go home and cry every night. And being someone that's considered a tough girl, or, you know, strong and this and that, it's hard sometimes because people don't even know you cry. You know, I've had years ago someone was singing a song that they wrote, and I teared up, and it was very emotional, and the person's mother was listening along. She was actually my friend, and her daughter was singing, and she goes, you're crying? You? And I remember being like, well, yeah, I have a heart. Like, blood does flow through my body. But, you know, again, it's tough when you're a tough person, when you have to be the force in your family to reckon with, because you just take on the role. You know, no one asks you to do it. As the eldest, I just do, and it's my pleasure. But what I'm getting at is, for this is, you know, the same. You don't know who you're going to be as you grow, and never put a top on yourself. Never say, oh, well, if I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to work for 3 weeks every time someone passes away. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'd have a resume, because sometimes it's just death after death after death, and it's hard. But it's also empowering to the person who's dealing with it, because you learn the most important life lessons during that time. And so I'm equating that to addiction, because I think, not that death and addiction, well, maybe, because you have to say goodbye. There has to be a death to your addiction to move forward, right? You have to put it down. You have to bury it, and you have to emerge a new person, stronger, wiser, and more willing to fight for yourself. And so I want to say that to anybody who's struggling right now, you're worth it. You know, you have the ornate ability to do anything you truly want to do, and you can do it. Find your circle of people. Find one person. Text me. Inbox me here. Do whatever you got to do. Tell me your story. Tell someone you know your story. Tell a stranger your story, because sometimes it's easier, because they're not judging you. And no one's judging you, because you know what? If there's a person in your life that chooses to judge you, I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart, tell them to go screw off. Because if anybody on earth can look at another soul and judge them for their actions or their wrongdoings, per se, who are they? You're telling me they've never made a mistake? They've never done something wrong? So don't allow it. Know what you are willing to allow, and not what you're not willing to allow in your own life. That is important. If you see that, you know, the 10 people in your life that are like, yay, you're not going to be using anymore and exciting. Oh, we're going out and we're going to be doing this, and they're maintaining their lifestyle in your presence, they're not your people. Because they should be able to separate it and say, you know what? We're going to go to dinner with her. We're going to maybe go to a movie. Maybe we'll go shop. We'll do something fun. We'll do a girl thing. And then we're going to say goodnight, and we'll go off and do our things. But they should be able to, a friend, a family member, a loved one, a partner, should be able to say to you, your sobriety is the priority in their lives as well, because it's the new you. You've rebirthed, right? So that's one topic, and I can go on forever. But I just think every day you have to wake up and go, you know what, I'm making a choice to be happy. I'm making a choice to fight the demon in me, and I know I'm worth it. And you are. And everyone around you who sees how you're living now, or the changes in you that are coming, and they're positive changes. Not going to always be easy. Not always going to be perfect. But in the end, if you truly believe and you have your circle, even if you don't, even if you have to do things alone, I do a lot of things alone because people think I can. Go forward and do it for you, and make that choice. Not saying that, I'm not making light of the fact that, you know, it's just that simple. Oh, just make a choice. But in the down core of your body, in this depths of your soul, you made a decision to stop, which means you made a choice. Just follow that choice and go forward. The other thing I wanted to talk about is codependency and dependency on a partner, a boyfriend or a girlfriend boyfriend, whatever it is. A lot of people, a lot of women, and I'm going to talk to women, and I always say that because it's what I am, it's who I am, and it's what I know. A lot of women put a lot of emphasis on the man in their life as the person they're trying to please, you know? Like, oh, I am, exercising more for them. I'm gonna go talk with a therapist because of them. I'm going to make myself better for you. And there's so much wrong with that. There's so much wrong with that, because if you don't realize beyond any shadow of any doubt that you are your team player, you're your number one player, and everything you do has to be for yourself, that's important. There's a lot of talk. When I went to that meeting the other night, they were talking about how you had to be selfish. And I know as a human being that believes I'm selfless in most cases, but I prioritize myself. I think there needs to be a change of words. I think there needs to be a new way to look at it. I don't think it's fair to a person who's been brought up with kindness and morals and the belief that, you should help others and all that. I don't think it's fair to use the word selfish, because in that word, I think causes guilt within you. Like, I'm going to be selfish? Like, how do I be selfish? And I'm going to put myself first. So you know what? Yeah, maybe by definition, what we're talking about is a selfish act. But I think you have to change the verbiage to prioritize. You're prioritizing who you are in your own life. And it's not that you're being selfish, because of course you'd hand out a blanket to a stranger. Of course you would, give kind words to someone who needs it, $1 to someone who's hungry, food, whatever. We all have that, But I think to learn that you're prioritizing yourself over the word being selfish, I think is more empowering. Because I know that if someone told me I had to be selfish today, tomorrow, and the next day, I would have a problem. I would be like, I don't even understand it, because it's just not in my makeup as a person. And I think a lot of people resonate with that. And so I just want to empower everybody and say, yeah, it's by definition, sure, you're being selfish, but you don't have to say that to yourself, because that might be a word you fight with in your mind. You are empowering yourself to be the priority in your life to achieve the goals you need to achieve for yourself. Once you believe that your value, your beauty, your strength, your love, your commitments, your compassion, your passion all stems from how you feel within, life's journey opens up in a way you'll never understand. If you put on a dress and think my boyfriend's gonna love this, and you don't really love it, take that dress off, girlfriend. Do not wear it. Do not do it. Wear what you feel is comfortable. Wear what makes you feel beautiful. Because once you feel beautiful from inside your chest, in your heart, in your soul, no matter what you're wearing, the radiation of beauty is going to stem from you. I get a lot of compliments here or there. People are very kind to me. They'll tell me I'm beautiful, this and that, and it's honestly, it's the sweetest gesture. And I always thank them, but I always say I believe my beauty, if it even exists, to whomever's looking at me, comes directly from my heart, because I think that's the most important part of your body that needs to be beautiful. So I want to talk, so that was that. So talking about, really focusing on your team player, which is you, and everything else will follow suit. It will. Everything else has no other choice. It will find the light of day. But when you find yourself dieting, exercising, therapy, anything that you're doing that was suggested to you from your counterpart, sit with yourself at night. Make the decisions for yourself on what you know or what you need to know that you need for yourself. Do you know what I mean? You have to sit with yourself and decide what it is that you want to fix. Someone else doesn't have the right to tell you what you need to fix. They can give you an advice, an opinion, like I am, but the truth of the matter is, when you lay down at night, when you're in that bed, when you're alone with your maker, that's the conversation, that's the opinion you have to listen to, your opinion, because you know what's best for you. You know what? If you want to eat 25 Oreo cookies, eat them. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. When the day comes where you're like, I don't want to eat 25, I want to eat 10, it'll come. Or you get to the day where you're like, I don't even want an Oreo, because it will come, because you are working on you, for you, by you, only you. We have the strength and power to change everything within our existence if we want it. We have the power to suggest, give advice, offer a helping hand to the world. But the truth of the matter is, everything that you want, the change that you want to see in the world, has to start within. Be the change you want to see, And then, because I'm old, I can't remember what my other topic was. But I hope in this moment, what I'm trying to say about everything, whether it's addiction, whether it's self-worth, self-value, whether it's ending a relationship, starting a new relationship, communication is the key to all of it. Have honest conversations with yourself, have honest conversations with the people around you, and have honest belief that once you make the choices that you need to make for yourself, the world will open up, no matter what it is. A lot of people say things, I'm going to end soon, but because I'm over, but, a lot of people believe this, and I find it interesting. They say, what will be, will be. And you know what? I think people say that because they truly believe what they want to be will be. And that's not the case. What will truly be, will be, could be the absolute polar opposite of what you're thinking. The guy you think is the man of your dreams might not be, but because you're like, nope, I believe what will be, will be. Well, you know what? What will be will truly be. And you have to believe in it, whether it's you're in your favor or not in your favor. That's the secret. Being a positive thinker is fantastic. I think it's half full. Everything in my life is half full. I could be drowning in the other half of the jar. I could be drowning in that half of the glass, but it's half full. You have to believe it. And you have to know that everything you think about yourself, not what other people think about you, is the truth. And you have to know that your value starts with you. Addiction is a scary thing. Diseases are scary things. My depression is a scary thing. Some days I don't have a control over it. But when I know I don't have control over it, those are the days I choose to go into my shell and not leave my house, because I don't know what that road will lead me down. There's power in that. There's strength in that. There's something to learn in that. If you wake up and you're feeling like you can't go forward for whatever reasons, don't stop. Think. Make the phone call you need to make to your sponsor, to your best friend, to your mom, to whoever you have that supports your beliefs in you, and make that become the way you think. When you wake up, if you feel like you can't, don't. Not talking about work. I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about the laundry. I'm talking about sweeping the floor. I'm talking about the things that you have to do every day of your life that some days you're just like, God, I don't want to. And you don't have to, because guess what? The dishes will be there tomorrow, or in a couple hours when you're feeling better. The dirt will still be on the floor that you have to sweep. But making sure that you're your priority and you're listening to your inner self is really, I think, the most important message here. What else did I say? I don't remember. But I'm going to watch this over and see what the beginning is. And maybe there'll be another video quick, because I think I only hit 2 topics. And I believe I said 3. And here's where a script would work out perfectly for me. But I didn't do that. So I don't do that because I don't think it's genuine and I don't think it's authentic. And I want that to be the most important aspect of everything I say. All right. I'm ending this longest video yet, I think. It's Louisa. I'm imperfect, but my thoughts are kind of rad. I believe in myself. Even when the chips are down, I know there's nothing I can't do because I believe in who I am and I know that I can do whatever I put my mind to. And so can you. We can do anything we want if we want it bad enough, if we know we're important enough, and you are. So, goodbye until who knows next time. But I believe in you guys, and always, there's always that space below, comments, or, anywhere to reach out, find a way. I believe my email is in my page. You can email me. You could send me a message that says, hey, I just sent you an email, and I'll get right on it because I kind of stink at emails. But I'm here. I'm here to tell you you're beautiful. I'm here to tell you you're worth it. I'm here to tell you that you can overcome anything you want to. And I'm here to tell you sometimes just because you think the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams is the be-all, end-all, just might not be. Slow down, let the road open, and take your journey. And you'll be surprised. All right. Peace to everybody. Love to everybody, and Happy New Year. And we're heading into my 52nd year of life. And my grade tells me. But anyway, thank you everyone for listening. The pleasure's mine. And thank you.